What's up, everybody? Um, my name is Josh, also known by Godsnephew, also known by Nephew, um, whatever you want to call me. Um, this is ReconstructUs Podcast. Uh, I'm not going to do a lot right now. I'm not going to speak too long. I'm going to just use this as a pretty cool introductory, kind of explaining about, um, brief overview of who I am, why I'm deciding to do this right now. And what it's about, or the type of things we'll be discussing here. um, First off, I'll say that I am from Greenville, South Carolina. Um, Born and raised. I'm currently still living here. Sadly, I joke. I'm kidding. I'm a photographer. I'm an artist, creative director. Yeah. And I'm kind of starting this podcast first. As a way to break out of my own comfortability, or what you could call as a fear. I don't really like speaking. I don't really like getting in front of the camera. I don't like doing public speaking. I don't like doing any of that. But I do feel that God, the universe, the spiritual realm, all of the above has constantly pulled me to do this over the past couple years. And I've been denying it for a long time. And the energy that I'm picking up from 2025, and the energy that I've been paying attention to from the past couple years, honestly, even just really, if we just dim it down to the past 2-3 months, I felt a really strong need or pull to do this and start now. So this is me getting out that comfort zone or that scarcity and doing that. I have a community project that I've been developing and, curating and redefining every day in my city. Really just an ideology, really, that started with me and my friends, that is slowly starting to kind of pick up. Like, people are starting to, like, get hip to it, if you will. Called Reconstruction. Sorry. It's called Reconstruction. We named it Reconstruction for a couple reasons. Couple different reasons. One being, I feel like personally this is just like a personal ideology of why I initially named it that, which is being, I feel like society, the world, our United States, like the whole country, is in a place of where we kind of need to do a lot of reconstructing of how we view society and we treat each other in society, and like what we value as important or as priorities. Also, that being one thing. Another one being, we're always constantly reconstructing ourselves, whether that's physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially. Like, we're always trying to figure out, what's bad and what can we do. Well, I'm not gonna say all of us. Some of us are very comfortable, which I also feel like is a reason that I named it that, so that it can inspire people to kind of start looking inward and start seeing what they can reconstruct about themselves in order to make themselves better, initially making the people around them better, their family members, seeing them better, wanting to do better for themselves. It spreads. It spreads very rapidly. So, um, yeah. And for the last one, um, kind of picking up off the last point is really, and this is just like a personal statement that I live by, and that is kind of like the Reconstruction mission statement, if you will. It's like, in order to see the change in the world, you have to become that change. Um, and so we kind of, it's full title Reconstruction, but like, I guess you could put Reconstruction slash double I. You'll probably hear double I a lot more than Reconstruction. So, and that's just being, in order to change your view on life, in order to change how you see the world, whether that's good or bad, you first have to change how you view yourself and how you treat yourself and all of those things. Like, and you have to change your perspective, and that, in order to change your perspective, you have to do the work necessary to wash away all the old versions of you that you may be holding on to, or just, being stagnant in, to become a better version of you, whatever that means. A better version of you for your family, for your community, for your friends, for your whoever is important to you. And this podcast is called Reconstruct Us. ReconstructUs, obviously a play on Reconstruction, but also so that this can be a platform that where we can go on this journey, have those tough discussions, ask the hard questions, all that good stuff. Yeah, so it's like we're doing it together. Like, you're not alone. I'm really big. I'm a really big believer that we, like, over the past 20 years. I'm guessing I'm only 23. I just turned 23 yesterday. Ooh. But I really do. I firmly believe that the reason that the numbers of depression and suicides and all of that stuff are so high is because we when I say we, I'm specifically speaking to the Black community, because that is all I can really speak to, and that's really where my main focus is. Those are the people I care about the most. Those are the people that I put forth the most on any level, every level. Black people come first to me because we are always last, and we always treat each other like we're last, which I don't think is good, because that gives everyone else the feeling that they can treat us however they want, because we treat each other however we see fit, and that's not always good. We don't lead with respect, things like that. We can go down that tangent later, but yeah, I'm a firm believer that the reason that all of those things, like, we feel all of these things and feel like we got to be so harsh or so uptight and standoffish to each other, is because we lost a sense of community. I don't know where down the line we did, but like, simple stuff, like, we don't have community cookouts. Like, we can't throw parties. Like, we can't do, in some areas you can, just depending on like where you are, I guess. But I guess I'm speaking from a standpoint of being in a small town, i.e. Greenville. You can't really throw anything as an event without something happening, someone fighting, a brawl happening, a shooting happening. Like, something is more like 80% of the time something's happening, if it's not like in the church. Like, so I just, like, I don't know. I don't even remember really a time where, at least, again, I'm only speaking from the perspective of Greenville because that's where I'm from. That's all I know. That's what I know most. I can't really remember a time, even as a young nigga, like, going out at 14 and 15 and 16 and shit, like, going to parties. Like, it was either you was running from cops, like, you was prepared to fight people, you did fight people, or niggas is shooting. and I just like always hated that. And I don't know, like I just find it kind of weird. Like, damn, everybody feel like this, like all over the place. And I see nips and buds of like different spots around the country that kind of feel the same thing, whether it's a big city or small. It's just like initially it's always the black community that's like we just niggas just don't know how to act. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Niggas just don't know how to act. I say that like jokingly, but like sadly, seriously. Um, but and I think that also comes off one us not having a like we don't value community, which leads into we have no one to keep us to hold us accountable, which also isn't good because like we don't we don't take self accountability. That's one. Two, there's no one that's around us that will hold us accountable or that has enough balls to really like, hey bro, you tripping. Like we don't even have that no more. We don't even have the big homies like telling them little niggas like, hey bro, tighten up. Like you ain't always gotta tell a nigga to change his life, but like just tell him like, yo, relax. Like and it's like a formula. Like you can't really tell somebody to do something without giving them a replacement for it. And I feel like that's all systems. Like I'll use myself for an example. Like since I was 14, and trust me, along this podcast, I'll really paint vivid pictures of my life. I'll use myself as the biggest examples because that's where it started. Um, and we're kind of just going this journey together and into current times and to see, what good comes out of it. But initially, um, back to what I was saying, since I was 14, up until 14, that's in 2016, up until August of 2024, um, I had a bad addiction to weed, bro. Like I was smoking weed all the time from 14 all the way up until 22, like consistently, not just like every once in a while. Like that shit was consistent since I was 14. Um, and since August 2024 to now, which is January 20th, 2025, I have been sober, um, which I haven't been in a long time, and it feels great to have been sober for this long. But in order to have gotten there, from August 2024 back to, I mean, even like maybe April, May, June of 2023, I had just been like telling myself like, yo, I want to stop smoking. I want to stop smoking. I want to stop smoking. And there was a lot of times where I just tried to do it cold turkey and it always break, which me and my girlfriend were having a discussion earlier today while we were out of town. It's like, you can't really, do anything cold turkey. Like if you're trying to become a vegan, if you're trying to like stop doing anything, like you can't really like do it cold turkey. You have to create a system which allows you to transfer those habits very smoothly. And so the process of me stop smoking weed was like a 2 week process, but I made a firm commitment because I was in a really bad place. I had just came like 2024 was like me coming off a really bad 2 years, like an extremely bad 2 years, and we'll get into those stories. Um, you know, maybe next episode or a couple, down the road. But like an extremely bad 2 years, like a lot of self pain. I had to learn how to walk again, and I was on a lot of meds for 3 months. I was on a lot of painkillers for 3 months. Um, a lot of physical pain. I had to learn how to walk, like, and the moment I learned how to walk, a couple weeks later, my dad has a massive heart attack, and so I'm just getting to the point of being somewhat healed, and now we have to, go through that process, and in that process, I lose an uncle figure to me, and yeah, then we go through his recovery process from that, or my father's, heart attack recovery from that, and then we go into him getting diagnosed with cancer and having to, have surgery and all of these things. So it was just a lot that year. Like, it was a crazy year. I lost an auntie later that year. I lost a friend later that year. It was just a really bad year. So I made the firm commitment to myself. August, or probably like, what is it? January, February, March. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So maybe like last week of July, I was like, I'm gonna really stop. Like, I'm gonna really stop. Like, I told myself, like, all right, bro, no more talking. Like, do what you need to do. Stop that shit. And so, I was smoking at least like 3, 4 times a day. Like, and so whatever number I was at, I just knock it down, you know, every day or every other day. If I'm smoking 4 times a day, all right, we starting at smoking on 3 times a day. Like, all right, cool. Do 3 times a day, get comfortable with that. All right, knock it down to 2 times a day. All right, one day, like 1 time a day. All right. And instead of trying to do cold turkey that, I end up just breaking the actual habit of smoking. Like, because you're smoking for two things. You're smoking for the relief of smoking, and then you're smoking to get high. So I'm knocking down the action of smoking, and in order to stop that, whenever I wanted, like whenever I felt the need to get high, I got these Delta 9 gummies, which are completely legal. Like, you just go to like a fucking anywhere that sells Delta anything in South Carolina, at least. Um, for those that may be looking for that, just go to any like vape store, like, I don't know, anywhere that sells CBD/THCA, great stuff, I guess. You get you a little pack of gummies. Like, anytime you feel the want to go smoke, bro, and you're trying to go on that journey of stopping, just like take a little bite. You feel me? Whatever, however your tolerance is, you may just take one gummy, whatever. Just like, you'll be there. Like, you'll be good enough to be like, okay, I don't really need to. If you're really committing to like knocking that down, it'll be good enough. And then, if you're taking a full gummy, knock it down to a half, like half a gummy, a quarter gummy, like all the way down. Because after initially, like, you just get tired of it. Like, it's like, all right, bro. Like, at least I did. Like, I got to, like, a week later, I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm done. Like, only like these gummies. This just fucked me up too much. Like, fucked my head up, made me feel weird, whatever. And from there, I've been sober since. So what I'm saying is, in order for us to stop certain habits that we notice that we want to stop, you know, recognize the patterns, recognize the root cause, or like why you do it in the first place. And if it's not doing anything good for you, it's like, all right, and it's time to get to work, bro. Like, it's time to knock that shit out. So I'm just saying all of this to say, I am using myself as an example of what I had to do in order to get to the person I am today, which I'm extremely proud of. Like, every day I make myself prouder, and I don't think I've ever been in a place to be able to say that. I had to do what was necessary for me to get here, and it was a lot of pain. It was a lot of dedication, a lot of like, that's just like with anything, to achieve anything, bro. Like, niggas want to become, like, get a lot of money. Like, that take a lot of time. It take a lot of dedication. So it's like, we just gotta see what we value as important or as a priority. I put myself as a priority in becoming a better person. I was like, I used to be a very heartless person. Like, we'll get into that another day. Like, people usually see me on a face-to-face basis level, but like, I used to be a really pretty bad person, dude. Like, I'm not even gonna say, I'm not even gonna act like I was. Like, I used to be a pretty fucked up individual. So, um, but everybody will tell you I'm a really nice guy. So yeah, in order to kind of like do diligence to myself, I had to do the hard work necessary. And I think as a community, we are at a point where if we don't make this decision now, to become a better as people, to become better as a community, to become better examples, then we will no longer have those examples for our kids, for their kids. Like we're passing them down like into a hole of nothingness, bro. And that is terrifying to me because I really want to have kids. I don't want to, and I don't want to raise my kids in a world where they have to worry about people that look just like them, judging them or like being their biggest threat. Like, because that's not the way it's supposed to be. That's not the way it is in any other race. I'm assuming. Like everyone, even if they don't like each other, they can respect each other to uphold an image for each other. Um, like if I'm not doing it for myself, I'm doing it for my family. If I'm not doing it for my family, I'm doing it for my community, my people. Like they put their people first. Like we the only people who don't do that, and I find that so. And I'm not gonna say that's like our fault either. Like it's not. That's by design. That's by plan. So, and a lot of people will tell you like, no, it's not. Like whatever they're coming up with their excuses. It's like then you're just being ignorant. And I feel like if you notice a problem that you can present or provide a solution to and choose not to out of ignorance or laziness or any of those things, like you're just as bad as the perpetrators who are causing harm to you or your community or your people or the people you love. Like you're just as bad as them. Like you can be charged for the same crimes. Um, and if we don't hold each other accountable, then we know who's going to hold us accountable. Like we know, we can identify that. We got plenty of examples of that, of niggas definitely showing us how to be punished. So it's like, and I'm not saying and people always make it seem like when we say we got to become a community again, like niggas got to be best friends with each other. Yo, that's like far from what that is. It's just like, yo, we just have to have simple respect for each other. And in order to do that, you got to respect yourself. Like, it's really simple math when you think about it. Like, you just put all of this in math terms. Like, so all of that to say, that's the type of shit we'll be talking about here. Um, I find it very important. I feel like because I grew up a pastor's kid, because my father found it very important and will trust me. Like I'm telling you niggas the business. Like I'm telling y'all the truth. All the way through. When I get to my own life, when I get to explaining all of that, like I'm gonna just tell y'all what it is. But that's down the road. Maybe next episode, more than likely. Um, but my dad made it very prominent to his calling to himself that he was going to educate black people on our history, on who we were. Like for real, not just like the regular bullshit. Like niggas know what I'm talking about. Certain niggas know. If you know, you know type shit. Uh Hidden Colors? Yeah, Hidden Colors. Like he would I don't know if they were like episodes or if it was just like a long documentary. I don't really remember. I was pretty young. But I just remember being like 11, 12 years old, and my dad for like a week, maybe however long, I don't remember. But he stopped doing Bible study, and instead of doing Bible study, he took time to like gather people together, predominantly black men. Um, but everyone was welcome. But predominantly black men. He would stop doing Bible study. He stopped doing that for like a couple weeks, and we had classes on who we were, like where we come from, the type of people we really were, and what is being presented to us, or being what we're being portrayed as back then, and even in today's time. Same shit. So the things that I've been able to see and recognize about myself, our community, how we're portrayed, how the system is set up, all of that shit, like because of what I was exposed to 10 years ago, the lens that I've been able to see the world through is a lot clearer. It's a lot realer, 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 real, realer. Um, and it makes me feel for the people who don't know or are not aware. And because they're not aware, when people present to them the ideas of, oh, everything is systematically planned to make black people hate each other, like when they make it sound cliche, of course, like people are gonna reject it because it's like, hey, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like you ain't even saying shit. So yeah, I just feel like in a more relatable sense, in a more realistic sense, and without trying to run people off with like the old like tactical ways of trying to wake people up. I'm not a historian. I'm not like really into doing anything that's already been done or attempted yesterday and beyond. Like to either help black people, any of that. I'm a real forward thinker. I'm a real like futuristic. I want to see us be here. Like so I'm not trying to like I do my homework. I suggest people do their homework on all of that stuff on their own time when they feel comfortable to. But me, man, I've done my own homework. Like not what they taught us in school about history. That's strategically planned too, but we'll get into that later. Yeah, like all that stuff, like do on your own time. But for now, I'm here to present current current problems with current solutions to get to future positions. That's exactly what that is to me. Um, and so that's all it would be here. I'll be able to I'll be able to freely express and discuss and even like welcome y'all in. Like we'll take calls, like we'll take fucking whatever it is, like email submissions, like comments, whatever. Like we'll do all of that. Like I want it to be very interactive. I want it to be like we're having a discussion, not I'm having a discussion. Because to really solve a problem on a mass level, one, everyone has to recognize the problem. Everyone has to come to agreement on what the problem is, and then agree on the steps that are necessary to be taken for the solutions to that problem. If we're all experiencing the same problems or recognizing the same problems, and being able, like, being willing to openly hear everybody, like that's what this is about. Like that's what this platform is for. Um, that's what I'm initiating this for. So like yeah, I'm an artist. I'm gonna do all that. Like we discuss anything. I'm willing to discuss anything, but and we will like we'll go on a wide spectrum of different topics and shit. So you don't have to think like this is all that I'm gonna be talking about. But just know like I put black people first. I put the well being and the education and the and not the traditional like going to school and learning that type of shit. Like that's not what I mean. I mean more so the awareness, the self awareness, and the communal awareness of what got us here, what it is that, like, our common enemy, um, and educating on each other on how we can use our personal talents, our personal callings to help everybody, bro. Because that's what life is. Um, so we'll be able to discuss a lot of things. But initially, this platform is to help everybody, like all the niggas. This is for the niggas, bro. Like this is for the niggas. Like what everybody else. I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean, but yeah, man, I'm here for the niggas. Like so, yeah. Um, that's this episode. Um, welcome. We here. Like I really know what else to say. Uh, and yeah. Um, y'all can follow me on anything that you really want to. Uh, I forgot what my Twitter tag is. It's probably like Godsnephew00, more than likely. Instagram, Godsnephew_. And honestly, those are the only platforms that I'm on. So, and I'm rarely on those. So, but those are my socials. That's where you can go see my work. That's where you can go see anything. This is my first approach to presenting this type of stuff. And I have a few vlogs out. I have a few interviews out. I have a couple self-recorded and self-made documentaries about the beginning of Reconstruction, how it started, the process of that. I'll link all of that stuff in the description for y'all who want to go see. But yeah, besides that, welcome to ReconstructUs, and I hope y'all enjoy this journey, and I hope y'all are willing to take this journey along with me. And I'm not trying to appeal to everybody. I want to make that clear. I ain't trying to appeal to all y'all. I only care to appeal to who cares to listen. I want real, authentic viewers. Not even viewers. I don't care about viewers. I just want the effect to be authentic. I want it to be able to make people more comfortable bringing up these discussions and having these conversations with each other, one-on-one with our friends. I mean, whatever it is, like with our families, with whoever. Like, if we just, like, bro, we just need to get back to the point where we can feel comfortable talking to, like, each other in public, even if we don't know each other. Like, and again, I want to make this very clear. Like, I'm not trying to push a whole, like, we all got to become best friends, because I know that shit not realistic. You know, people got their own issues in life, and I understand that. And specifically Black people, we all endure a lot of trauma. Like, I don't care where you from. I don't care if you was born in the hood, if you was born in the suburbs, if you was born in the woods, nigga. Like, I don't care. We all endure and carry with us from our ancestors to ourselves in this current life immense amount of traumas, whether we recognize it or not. So I'm just saying, we got to start leading with respect and treating each other with respect in order for us to be able to see the results that we want to see from each other and from the rest of the world. Like, if we don't respect ourselves, nobody's going to respect us, as you see that now. So, yeah, I'm not going to keep going. I'm going to wrap it up for this episode. And thank y'all for watching. Yeah. That's it, niggas.
It's for a real reason, they just don't think that I get it. Had to do some dirt before I double out of business. Years took all my sentence, don't believe in snitches. Lawyer tried to make me bite the cheese